Hello and welcome, I'm Thomas Porteous and you're watching NewsX World. Let's take a look at some of the top stories. In Kashmir, Pakistan army posts opened fire along the line of control, triggering a response from Indian troops. NIA is to probe the attack as search operations continue in multiple areas. Iran offers to mediate, while Pakistan's army chief reiterates the two-nation theory. A massive blast in Iran's largest port kills 18 people and injures over 700. Officials believe poorly stored chemicals caused the explosion, but it's too early to confirm. Iran and the US agree to continue nuclear talks, with discussions expected to resume next week. Donald Trump signals confidence in a deal, while Iran insists on maintaining uranium enrichment and defensive capabilities. US President Donald Trump criticizes his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin on Truth Social amid war mediation efforts. This may suggest a shift in his position following a historic meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Rome. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky holds talks with French President Macron, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni after meeting with Donald Trump. Leaders discuss progress towards a peace deal and commit to continuing efforts to end the war in Ukraine. Leaders make final campaign pitches in Canada's federal election, where US President Donald Trump remains a strong factor. Polls tighten as young Canadians lean towards Conservatives despite the Trump threat. President Donald Trump demands that American military and commercial ships travel through the Panama and Suez canals free of charge. The US president directs Secretary of State Marco Rubio to address the issue immediately. Indian police detained 1,024 people in a crackdown of illegal immigrants in Gujarat. The government says these detained individuals are Bangladeshi migrants and comes amid growing tensions with Pakistan. We begin with our ongoing coverage of Kashmir. Tensions are flaring up once again along the line of control. Overnight, unprovoked small arms firing was reported from Pakistani posts across areas like Lipa and Neelam valleys. Indian troops responded firmly. No casualties have been reported. In the aftermath of the Pahalgam terror attack, Indian security forces have demolished the houses of 8 terrorists across Jammu and Kashmir. The National Investigation Agency will now lead the probe into the attack. Meanwhile, Iranian President Massoud has declared support for India against terrorism. Just a day ago, Iran also offered to mediate in the growing India-Pakistan tensions. Security operations are continuing in multiple districts, including Tral, Anantnag, Pulwama, Pahalgam and Shopian. In another development, Pakistan's army chief has once again invoked the controversial two-nation theory. And in a major diplomatic move, India's decision to cancel all existing visas of Pakistani citizens comes into force today. Medical visas will remain valid only until April the 29th. We are joined by Brian Thomas, correspondent, live from Srinagar in Kashmir. Brian, what updates can you give us on this developing situation amid rising tensions between India and Pakistan?
Well, clearly, if we talk about the ground situation, yes, we are on our way to Shopian itself, where a house was raised itself of an active militant, Adnan Shafi, who of Wadina Zainapura, whose house was destroyed just yesterday itself. He joined the militant ranks before 1 year, and yes, there have been much tensions between both India and Pakistan itself after the deteriorating diplomatic tensions also that India has downgraded against Pakistan. There have been many such explosive statements also from Pakistan ministers against India itself. But clearly on ground, the security forces have been working round the clock, 24/7 and keeping a vigil. And also, They are in an attempt to eliminate the militants. They are raising the houses of the militants who have been active in such terror activities. Now we are, yes, clearly on our way to Shopian district also, where one such house was clearly, was raised. And even Pakistan again violated the ceasefire also by firing itself on the very LOC itself. So yes, clearly there have been much violations from the Pakistan side. There have been much explosive statements from the Pakistani ministers. Even they were talking about the two-nation theory. So yes, clearly the dynamics have been deteriorating. But yes, the security forces, the JNK police, the CRPF, the paramilitary forces, even the Indian Army have been vigilant, working 24/7 round the clock to ensure everything happens in a proper place and there is peace maintained in the region itself.
Brian, what are the thoughts of the diplomatic moves on the ground that India has made so far? Obviously, the Indus Water Treaty has been suspended, and today is when the visas of Pakistani nationals run out. What are the thoughts of the people in the region?
Well, clearly, those locals in Kashmir, they are in, if you talk about the ground situation where we are, it will be very safe to say that most of the locals here itself in Kashmir, they are standing against the terror attack that has happened. They are with the people also, they are also condemning this very incident that has happened. And even clearly, the NIA has now taken control and taken probe of the Pahalgam attack that had happened. Yes, clearly there was a few days back, the NIA team was also dispatched from Delhi to, maintain, to give progress reports also, of the situation there. And now, clearly just now, the NIA has taken full control over the situation. And talking about the diplomatic tension, yes, there have been very stern steps taken by India, and also there have been much international support also, from world leaders, from other countries also to India against the terror attack that has happened and that jolted Kashmir, and not just Kashmir but the entire nation itself.
Yes, Brian Thomas, thank you very much for joining us. We will continue to bring you all the